Hi, my name's Amy Gibson. These are the Jesus interviews. I'm sharing with you what I believe are Jesus Christ's responses to my prayers. As he speaks to me, I just write down his words and then I share them with you, and then you can make up your own mind about this. Conversation, contemplation. This is not advice. I asked Jesus if he would please share his words of wisdom and encouragement for the persecuted. And so that's the title of today's work, For the Persecuted, by Jesus Christ. And Jesus said, ironically, discrimination happens to people from all walks of life, all races, genders, ages, and economic classes, for various excuses. And Jesus used the word excuses, and he did not use the word reasons. Excuses. Ranging from sports ego, jealousy, ignorance, tradition of breeding, greed, misogyny, bigotry, racism, insecurity, and childhood imprinting. If you are being persecuted, know this: your God in heaven watches intently and counts every action against you and will reward you by a multiple and by a multiple against the perpetrators. These are acts of God which have no interference, meaning only God could do these. Almighty God in heaven is also Almighty God beside each and every living creature, and knows what people do and why. And this is why Almighty God does what he does, to reward the loyal few, especially the persecuted. And acts of faith in the midst of and the cause of persecution, in other words, if your faith is causing your persecution, will be especially rewarded. And heaven is for the persecuted. And this is paradise, beyond the most opulent of the planet Earth. And the perpetrator's not allowed, but sent to the opposite end of the consequence continuum. And so every time you experience discrimination and persecution, as they laugh and hackle and heckle, know this: Almighty God creates blessings for the persecuted from each of these, and more precious than gold for you. And you are precious to your Creator. And you are, said Jesus. And then Jesus said, my precious persecuted, God walks with you everywhere you go, and God's pride is in you. And as you endure, be strengthened by it, and know that God is greater than whatever they do. And whatever they do, they cannot take God from you. And they cannot stop you from going to heaven. And clever schemes and tricks will be the end of them instead. And God is greater, and their persecutions are a direct insult to God, and God will respond. So help me God. The words of Jesus Christ for you, and I appreciate your time.